Hello everyone and welcome to day 2 at Camp Kuukkeli. Okay, so the plan was to get up early. That didn't quite work. I think we needed the sleep, didn't we, Uni? I think we did. Okay, so we've got some water on the go. Got some snow melting. And yeah, we've got some of this lovely speck. Is that what we call this? So basically thick Norwegian bacon. Bacon. Right, we've got a frying pan here somewhere. So it was quite a noisy night last night with the bird life. The swans are back. They haven't got very much water. But there's a little bit of water, open water here. I ran out with my camera in the middle of the night last night to try and get some footage. But we've got to have a walk up and down the river and see if we can get some footage of those. Yeah, there's also willow grouse making lots of noise. No sign of the fox, thankfully. So we've had a fox that's been coming in here, actually coming in here and stealing things. So we've got all of the food in quite a secure box. Yeah, foxes are smart. I know that from previous experience I've had with foxes. But yeah, I think maybe the scent of Uni is keeping him away. Maybe he's not survived the winter. I don't know, but hopefully he'll stay away. We'll get out and do some ice hole fishing later. I've also had some dried peas soaking overnight in this thing. I'm going to use some of this bacon in some pea soup later, which is yeah, pea soup's one of my staples whenever I'm out somewhere like this. Dried peas, easy to carry, they taste good, and yeah, as if you've got the time to rehydrate them, as if you're on the go. It doesn't really work, but as if you've got a location where you can leave them soaking for a good amount of time, then they work great. Okay, so with the bacon I've got this stuff. Bruna rieska. So basically potato bread. So bacon in that stuff, that's not a bad breakfast. With, of course, lots of coffee. We like coffee, don't we, Uni? You don't. She's dug herself a little nest over there. She's got a little hole in the floor. Yeah, that's going to have to be filled in before we go. Okay, so let's show you the sleeping setup. There's Uni's little nest. And this is where I'm sleeping. So the sleep pad is Climate's Static 5. So I've been using that for a while. It seems pretty damn good. Sleeping bag, Corinthia Defence 6. So decent cold weather sleeping bag. It's not for extreme cold, but down to about -10 it seems to be relatively okay. I've had that in down to about -16 with another sleeping bag on the inside. I like to sleep in my wool long johns and a clean wool jumper. and Sea to Summit sleeping bag liner. So I've also under here got a couple more sleeping pads. So that's an old foam one that someone else has left here, and that's one that I got actually from the Bushcraft show when I was working as a volunteer. Somebody had left a tent with some stuff in it, and it was a perfectly good sleeping pad. It's not perfectly good anymore because it's one of the inflatable ones that have got foam in, so now it's just foam, it's not inflatable anymore, but I've got a couple of years use out of that. It's actually been okay for free. The tent I gave to the event organisers because I was taking the bus out of there, and I couldn't carry another tent. But yeah, so last night it was above freezing in here. None of the water's frozen, so warm enough. I would recommend for cold temperatures, as if you want a good value sleeping bag for down to about -20, the Snug Pack Antarctica. It's a little bit cheaper than this one. It's also more bulky, but it's warmer. This is it's okay. It's okay, but not for extreme cold. The North Face, what's it called? The North Face Dark Star is a good one for down to about -40. I can't afford one of those, but I can occasionally borrow them from work. Uni, where have you gone? Oh, there's breakfast, and let's get outside soon and have a look for those swans. This has got to be the biggest, oldest spruce tree that I've seen in this area. So we're a little bit too far north here for spruce trees. But you can clearly see how the branches are in the snow. As if you imagine it being less dead, you can clearly see how that would make a great shelter. Yeah, there's still a bit of life in it. It's still alive right at the very top. And the bottom, yeah, plenty of kindling there. Spruce doesn't make the best firewood. It's quite spitty and fast burning. There's also a lot of old man's beard on this one, or witch's beard, depending on what you want to call it. So lots of tinder there. This is where we didn't want to cross the river. And this is where I would have expected the swans to be when I heard them last night. I came to have a look at this spot. They weren't here, but they've been flying backwards and forwards. And there's a little bit more open water in that direction. Plenty of open water. Anywhere that the water's moving at any kind of pace. Thankfully we've got a good wide slow moving stretch over there where we can still cross. Also thankfully this river isn't very deep, which is nice. The thickness of the ice here is actually deeper than the length of the auger. Obviously we've got open water over there, so there's going to be somewhere in between where it's where it's thinner. But rather than pottering around too much on the ice, I think what I'm going to do is head back now. We've already had a nice long walk this morning, haven't we, Uni? We've been exploring, and yeah, I've got a couple of little projects to do back at base camp, and I'll keep an eye out for the swans. It's never ideal making a fire with so much snow around. But I want to cook and eat outside. Uni's being good. Have I got a ferro rod in my pocket? Yeah. Okay, so we'll have a go at fishing tomorrow without making holes in the ice. That's the plan. Uni's being very good. Got a bit of old man's beard here. It's a little bit moist, maybe. Here we go. This thing of splitting, I've gotten in the habit because I've been in the coulter, but you really don't need to batten down wood to get kindling out here. All of the pine trees, it's all dead at the bottom, you know. It's very rare that it's so wet that you actually have to split wood with your knife. Yeah, nice little fire going already, and let's get some food on. Okay, some of you might have seen me doing this on another video. I've got the sun behind me, haven't I, again? I'm not quite so dark as yeah, the last little video. I was on my way home from work, and there's a little post that I've cut a notch in already to stick me phone in. And it just happened to be, I actually quite like the way that it looks, but you couldn't see me face. I think you can do now. Yeah, but I just rough up very carefully because it's a good way of stabbing yourself in the hand, which I don't want out here. And yeah, and just roughing the surface means you can burn it out a lot more easily. You'll burn away all the little feathers. And what you'll have in the end is a fairly even, shiny surface that can be polished up a little bit more with a stone. I'm not going to be able to find the stone at the moment. I'll maybe find something else. Yeah, well, that's basically it. It takes a bit of time, as does everything. but we'll get there. Uni, don't eat grass. Or wherever it was. Yeah, there's a tree with some vegetation and a few bilberries and such like, and she seems to be eating something in there. You're black and white, but you're not a cow. You eat meat. We're not barbarians, you know. We eat meat. Yes. So nice seeing her running around. Yeah. But you don't go far because you're a good girl. Touch wood. Yes. So how the hell did you find a bone with all of this snow, eh? How did you do that? Uni, how did you do that? How did you? You gonna come here? Uni, come on. Oh, good girl. No, come back. Come back, silly. Oh, good girl. So, what does she do when she's off lead? She runs round like a lunatic for 5 minutes until she finds a bone, and then she comes back inside to eat it. What have you got? Clever girl. Does that look like soup to you? Not really, eh? That needs a cook for... that tastes good. But the peas need to soften up quite a bit more. Okay, we've got time. Oh yeah. It's like mushy peas with bacon in it. Perfect. Was mushy peas just an English thing? I don't know. Mustard. Awesome. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide these videos into days. I certainly had quite a bit of footage yesterday with the journey in here. Uni's over there with the pigs there, so she's happy. I've got me pea soup, so I'm happy. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. And I'll see you all again soon for another Kuukkeli Bushcraft video. Bye for now. Really is just like mushy peas.